And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now, accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.
FBI, open up! Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about Scammy Gravano. And his new claims are outrageous. We're going to dissect them, and we're going to show you exactly what's going on. Kev, what's going on? Rah, how are you? Lindsay, thank you for joining me. Cindy, Pink Panther. We just hit another milestone, 12,700 subscribers. We just keep going up every day. I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch this show. You guys are going to be surprised at the things I show you. So, but first, I want to talk about a couple things that are going on. The hurricane, all the people that are stuck out in, North Carolina and Tennessee, and they're not doing anything for those people. It's insane. So I have a rescue worker who's there right now, going house to house, trying to help people. He said he's going to come on, so I'm going to get that going. Salvatore, how are you? This is a good one. There might be some glitches in the camera. I've been having problems with it, but we'll get through it. Another thing, the New York City mayor got indicted, and he's still running the city. Like, how is that even possible? This dude is taking money. He shouldn't be allowed to keep running the city. He's just lying in his pockets, just like the rest of them. We need to handle that. The dock workers strike, that's going to affect every single person out there. There's going to be a ripple effect, and it's just beginning. And then you got the wars that are going on. Israel's fighting everybody, and we're kind of stuck in the middle. So we'll see what happens with all that. But anyway, let's get, hey, DC, how are you? Thanks for joining me. Kev, what's good? Dustin, how are you? If you guys like the interviews I've been doing, stay tuned. There's a lot more. I'm going to be dropping a whole bunch. I have shout out to Breeze, shout out to Bo. We got some really good interviews on the way. But anyway, without any further ado, and remember this, before we listen to this little segment, remember that this is the same guy who said A-Light was his little mafiosi.
Albanian mafioso told me.
Okay.
I think the world of him. I mean, he's a legitimate tough guy. Albanian mafioso told me.
Okay.
I think the world of him. I mean, he's a legitimate tough guy. I think he was put under the wrong people at the time when he was in the Gambino family.
What do you mean, Sammy? Wasn't he under John Gotti? How was he under the wrong people? I think you were put under the wrong people.
I wish he was part of my crew.
He wishes he was part of his crew. Well, I thought he was part of your crew. What happened? Now, this is the same guy. So now, wait till you hear what Scammy Gravano has said about Raymond Patriarca, a stand-up individual, unlike Scammy Gravano. And remember, Sammy, after you die, I'm going to be here to still kick dirt all over your name every day. I'm never going to stop, Scammy. Now, let's check out the new claims.
Okay, there.
All right, I got it.
That's Sammy's new best friend, too. Who knows who this guy is? Seems pretty gullible, though.
Got it.
Okay. I
Sammy
forgot
don't
where
know
we were,
shit.
Sammy.
Yeah, me too. I know I was yelling, Amina, this thing went off.
Oh, we were talking about who lived the life, and we were where
Yeah,
John was flashing, and we talked about the son getting put in there when he didn't really have the horsepower. And that was one thing I was going to mention a little later when we get to it, but
This guy don't know shit, obviously. Hey, Bambi, what's going on?
Raymond Patriarca putting his son in.
Listen, Raymond Patriarca has the most respect probably in the whole country. He was one of the most powerful bosses out there. Now, the claims that this guy's about to make is that Raymond Patriarca put his son in, and that this guy JR was going to overthrow Patriarca, which is not true. It never happened. That John Gotti went over there to have a meeting with Patriarca and said, your guys want to kill you. That JR here, one of the captains with Patriarca, wanted to kill him. Never happened. Now all of a sudden, because John Gotti overthrew Paul Castellano, he's like the expert in coups, and he's gonna go there and help them. He sat down and said, "Oh, your captains feel this way." It never happened, because if he ever did that, Patriarca would have killed all his captains. So that's a lie.
There was way worse than put John Jr. in there. Way worse.
yes. You know, I'll tell you a little story about that. Raymond Patriarca, the senior, the father, was a good man.
Now listen close, because he's about to lie right through his teeth.
He put his son in, and his son was really a fuck up. I mean, he didn't know how to run the family, did all kinds of weird shit. They were going to kill him. There was a guy, JR Jr., and he was from Boston, and he was the Cozziera family, and he was running most of the captains out of Boston. That was the power in the family.
JR.
He don't know shit about Boston, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. Absolutely nothing for him to even speak on it. He said he came out there and had a meeting with him. Total lies. Never happened.
Russo, right?
Yeah.
JR Russo, right? Yeah. Okay.
So we found out that they were gonna kill Raymond Patriarca and take over. And we went to a wedding out there, was the excuse. We went to this wedding, John Gotti, me and about 6 other captains. We went to a wedding, and we sat down with JR, and we talked with him. And he came up with all these reasons why they were going to kill him. And one of the reasons was that...
Listen, maybe they wanted to kill him, but they definitely didn't have a meeting with an outside family about taking over the Patriarca crime family. Never happened. Senior went to prison, is what happened. Senior went to prison. Junior ended up going to prison too. But Billy Grasso wanted to take over the family. What happened to Billy Grasso? They found him floating in the Connecticut River. He was killed on the same day that Frank Salemi was allegedly shot by Gigi. Shout out to Gigi. If you haven't seen the interview I did with him, go check it out. Gigi was around during that time. And I'm going to ask Gigi if there was ever a meeting with Scammy Gravano. I already know the answer to that, but let's get back to it.
There was a woman in the small town where he lived, was a beautiful woman, and she was a hooker. She went with all the high-end guys in the town. he went with her, fell in love with her, married.
Nate, what's up? LB
So,
Green.
as a boss, every time you're going out with your wife, you're going to go into a restaurant. There's 5-6 guys who got fucked or got blowed or whatever. So it doesn't fit for a boss. So they use that as well.
Well, what about you, Scammy Gravano? Every time people brung you out, I mean, you got pretty you got tag teamed by Russo and all them other guys, right? So what did they think of you when they brung you around, huh? I wonder. I wonder what they thought of you, Scammy. No, he's coming back.
So we talked with them and we said, listen, we think you're right. He's not a fit as a boss, but don't kill him.
Yeah, you stopped him from killing him, right, Sammy? Let me get this straight. You have no power, none, absolutely zero with the Patriarca crime family. You are under John Gotti. You guys didn't come out here and meet anybody. Never happened.
What we'll do is we'll talk with him and we'll tell him to step down.
Sure, and he's just going to listen to you, right?
So they agreed with us, with John Gotti and myself.
It never happened, because if they went to Patriarca, either senior or junior, and said that, they would have all been killed. All of them. The captains, they would have killed these guys. Never happened.
Like I said, all those captains. And we went to him. I wasn't at that second meeting where John Gotti sat with him, Raymond.
What do you mean you weren't at the second meeting, Scammy? You were so pivotal at handling business, right? What happened? You weren't at the meeting.
And said, you know, these are all the things how your captains and your family feel. There was a hit, they were going to take you out.
So there was a hit taken out. You go to his captains. You tell them. You go to the boss and say, oh, all your captains want to kill you. And he does nothing about it, right? Nothing. It never happened. You couldn't shine a fucking cockroach's shoe, Scammy Gravano. You are a despicable human being. You're a liar. None of this ever happened. You notice how he's involved with every sensationalized story that went on. He knows what happened to Hoffa. He knows everything. He don't know shit.
Stopped it. The only way we could help you is you step down. Step down, leave, and with your wife, and live a happy life.
Never happened. He's trying to play tough guy now.
And they'll take over. If you don't do that, we can't protect you. They'll kill you. The power is against you. And he did step down. And I believe JR took over.
It was specifically because of you, right? You and your little powwow you had, right? Had nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing. You are a complete liar. None of this ever happened. Junior got arrested, you idiot. Senior was in prison. So there was kind of a power struggle. But the family never got took over. He never stepped down. It was never done.
And here's a guy, a perfect example of nepotism, brought his son in. Now, maybe he brought him in, that's one thing. But making him the boss, that was fucking, it didn't work. So that's a perfect example of what you shouldn't do in the life.
No, what you shouldn't do in the life is have someone like Scammy Gravano under you and trust someone like him, because he's a lying rat.
And how the life became deteriorated. So
Yeah, Sammy was on the grassy knoll. $500 if you want the info. Where he buried off, all right?
Junior, Patriarca was, I don't know, maybe for lack of a better description, he was like Humpty Dumpty.
Look at you, bro. I bet you Junior was a lot smarter than you are. Both of you idiots.
Really didn't know. He wasn't even on the fringes of it, and why the hell they did that. And then
guess what? But he still was the boss, you fucking douchebag.
I'm sure you know that he recorded an entire induction ceremony in Medford.
That's definitely not what happened. There was an informant that came in and recorded the entire ceremony. Had nothing to do with Junior. It was an FBI informant that went there and recorded the ceremony. I interviewed one of the friends of the informant that recorded the conversation. So he's trying to say that Junior recorded the conversation.
You know that, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he recorded the
No.
No.
I know what
The agents didn't record shit. They had a informant that was in on this. These guys don't know what they're talking about.
You know.
Yeah, right.
He got stuck with that. I mean, he didn't record it. It was one guy was an informant, and he was getting made, and they recorded the whole fucking thing, and that was a big problem. But that's really not his problem. You know, that could happen.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh, what about Sammy Gravano? You're the one. I believe that Sammy Gravano let the FBI set up John Gotti and put the wiretaps in. I believe he did that. I believe Sammy Gravano killed his brother-in-law because he was going to out him for being gay and being with Jack Russo. I believe all that.
And I agree.
Yeah, but all the other things, he was disregarding the tough guys, captains, and and he was in La La Land with that broad. I never did a story about it because I feel that
never happened.
She's probably alive. She's a grandmother. I didn't want, that she's a hook. I didn't want to even talk about it. So I never did a video on it for that reason.
And it's not in your book either, right? Underboss. It's not in that book. And you never did video about it. I know why, Sammy. Because it never happened. Because you are a liar. And I know you're watching.
Said, why would I say that? The kids are going to go over, Grandma, you were a hooker? So I left it out.
That's not good.
Oh, but you'll talk about how you shot and killed a fucking innocent kid, right? Rest in peace to Alan Kaiser. This guy's a despicable human being. And after he's dead and gone, I will be there to slang mud all over his name. And I don't care. Who cares?
No, I didn't want to do that, so I left it out.
Oh, because you're such a good guy.
That was one of the reasons, and it's not enough to kill somebody, but you should step down. If that's what you want, fine. But you can't walk around with your wife into places. They'll ridicule you. And you're in a high position as a boss. And they're right that they won't allow that. So, But anyway, he did step away.
In all the stories you've told, you certainly exhibit a high regard for women in that perspective, like you.
Oh, really? Well, I got some video to say otherwise, because that is a lie. This rat enabler is trash. This guy is an idiot.
You just said your grandmother's probably still alive. I heard you talk about seeing this other one in the bar, and you didn't want to put any stain on her name and this and that. So you have a lot of respect in that regard. As I've heard.
In that regard, you have a lot of respect for that in that regard, Sammy. Yeah. Stop stroking him.
You mentioned it a few times.
Yeah.
Hey, put that. Look, he's gobbling something. That's probably A-light right off camera, right? This guy and the other guy's holding the fucking paper 2 inches from his face. I think it's time to retire there, old man. Gobble, gobble, Sammy. What are you gobbling there, Sammy?
I regard for women in that perspective, like you just said. Your grandmother's probably still alive. I heard you talk about seeing this other one in the bar, and you didn't want to put any stain on her name and this and that. So you have a lot of respect in that regard.
Watch, Sammy's about to go for the sausage.
As I've heard you mention it a few times.
You must have been to a Diddy party.
Yeah.
There he goes. Look, gobble, gobble. Oh, man. Or maybe it's Eugene. Maybe he's gobbling Eugene behind the scenes.
Like you just said, your grandmother's probably still alive. I heard you talk about seeing this other one in the bar, and you didn't want to put any stain on her name and this and that. So you have a lot of respect in that regard. As I've heard you mention it a few times.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah.
Get it all, Sammy. Get it all. This guy took his glasses off like I can't believe it.
There's a few times that you and I think the same way.
Oh, you were going to rat on your boss too?
It was probably back in podcast 67, 68. You were talking about you came in the bar.
You came in the bar. You lied about you came in the bar. Was you talking about Jack Russo? Came in the bar. What? Took Jack Russo behind the bar? Chief Suckums.
Probably one night. And asked these guys what they were doing and what they're laughing at. And they were making fun of a deaf girl that was dancing, I guess. And then, you told them that's not right. Don't be doing that shit. And then I fully agree with that. But
is that why we shouldn't make fun of you? Because it seems like you're missing a chromosome there, buddy.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Let me tell you a little bit about that story, which is crazy. Is that I got to know her, and I gave her a lot of credit. I told my guys, if you were deaf and dumb.
Oh, like you, Sammy? You're not deaf, you're just dumb.
Would you get on the fucking dance floor and dance?
Louis,
I think she's got a lot of courage. She's trying to have fun with her friends. She's doing nothing wrong. I give her a lot of credit. I got to know through her interpreter friend. And something came out with an experimental surgery that she found out about. And her family was chipping in. It was a lot of money. $35,000 back then.
Let me guess, you paid for her, right?
So I was going to make a donation to it. And I went to Atlantic City. I lost $20,000 in about 15 minutes playing craps. And I wanted to kick myself in the fucking ass. But talking to her, I talked to her again after that experience, and she said they raised $1,500, and the thing is $35,000, so she's not going to get the surgery. It wasn't covered by insurance or anything like that because it was an experimental operation.
Liar.
Excuse me.
Sammy's side job. He's a hot dog catcher.
She would, once you could hear, it would probably be able to talk. So I thought about it and thought about it, thought about it.
Wait till you see what I got coming up next. It's so funny.
And that experience of losing that kind of money shooting crap, and I was making big money back then. I got her one night, her girlfriend, and called her over, and I said, come in, bring her over. You're not going to do the surgery because you just can't afford it and there's no insurance. Yes. So I told the girlfriend to tell her is that I would pay the $35,000 for the operation.
Sure.
So
Sure
my
thing.
guy, one of my guys, Huck, said, Sam, you're going to pay $35,000 to get an operation? I said, yeah. Why? I'm not banging her or nothing. I mean, he says, listen, you know what?
He said, you're not banging her or nothing. Sammy the troll, go back under your bridge. Joey Pope, what's up, man? Nate, how are you? Rah, rah, I'll be donating later. Thank you. If anyone wants to donate, you can hit up the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chats. The Cash App is Chattin with Staxx. If you want to be a guest on the show, just email me at BillStaxx2021 and we'll make it happen.
I blew $20,000 on a crap table. Some rich people are going to wind up with it, and nobody will see the light of day with that. This girl, for $35,000, I might change her life. And it's something I really want to feel. I want to be proud of myself. I did it.
But you'll never be proud of yourself because I'll never let you forget Jack Russo or Alan Kaiser or Nick Scabetta. There's a whole bunch of them, Sammy. Just tell the truth about any of it. You can't, right? Because you'll look like the bad guy. But I'm going to make sure that people know the truth about you.
If I could blow $20,000 at a crap table, I could spend $35,000 to change this kid's life. And we were going to do it. And then one day she came back,
Jimbo,
her girlfriend, and said, she's refusing the money. And I said, why? She says, it's a lot of money.
Lizzie.
And
Thank you.
She talked with the doctors and everything, and it's experimental. It might work, it might not.
Thank you for the donation, Lindsay. She gifted a membership. I don't really know how all that works, but I appreciate that. And there'll be new videos on the membership today. If you guys are tired of the videos being so short, join the membership and you'll be able to see them all. Nate says, all good, Staxx. I'll send something tomorrow. I have to try to get back in my PayPal. If not, I'll super chat. I appreciate that. YouTube takes 30%. So if you can, try to send it a different way. YouTube takes 30%. It's crazy.
So she don't want to take your money.
So he dodged that bullet, right?
I said, don't worry about me. I got a lot of money, bro.
Yeah, well, did I lose you again? Oh, no, okay.
I'm here. I said, she said, yeah, something like that, 50-50 shot. So I said, well, tell him I'll pay for it. Don't worry, it's a good shot. It's a shot.
Yeah, PayPal's good.
If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it don't work. At least she tried. I tried. She wouldn't take the money.
She wouldn't take the money. Well, what do you know? Because you never offered the money, Sammy. This is one huge lie right from Scammy Gravano himself. You know, he went over and told the Patriarcas how to run their family. And then he comes back and he wants to donate $35,000 to a deaf woman, and she doesn't take his money. You believe that? How many people believe this shit?
And I never saw her again. My daughter, a couple of years, I don't know how many years, 2, 3, 4 years ago, wrote a book. And after they had the book signings, you know, you sign the book, there's a line of people and they want to buy the book. That deaf woman, deaf and dumb woman, came to the book signing with her interpreter and told my daughter that she wanted the book.
Oh, so she ended up paying you, huh, Sammy? You never had to donate to her. She bought your book. None of this ever happened. You're such a liar. Like, you will do anything to try to put yourself on top and make yourself look like a good guy. You are an absolute disgrace to mankind itself. You are a terrible person, and you will never be what you want to be. You will never, ever gonna be that guy, Sammy. I'm sorry.
And she told my daughter the story. My daughter called me up and said, Dad, were you going to pay $35,000 to get some woman an operation? A woman's deaf and dumb? Years later, 20-something years later, 30 years later. I said, yeah, why? Who told you that? She said she came to my book signing. She's still deaf and dumb. And she had a girl tell me the story. I said, oh my God. 30 fucking years later, this woman's still alive and tells my daughter the story. That's phenomenal. That's, I mean, even more than the story itself, that this woman would come to my daughter's signing and tell her the story. It was amazing. I don't think I did a video on it or anything like that.
It was amazing. She bought a book. It was amazing. You are such a liar. Such a liar. Like, you can't make this up.
But it was amazing. So I said, did you get her number or anything? You know, where you could get in touch with her? She said, no. I signed her book, and the interpreter told me the story. And I thought it was bullshit. I didn't even believe it at first. So the moral of the story is that when my daughter told me that, I felt so good. I did touch her life. I didn't give the money.
No, you didn't. You didn't touch no life. You're a liar. This story is a complete lie. Your own kids don't even like you.
Money. I wanted to. She wouldn't take it.
Breeze, what's going on? Shout out to Breeze. Part 3 will be out tonight. Make sure you check out Breeze's interview. It's doing insane. We got over 5,000 views on the first one, and I believe like over 2,000 on the second one. Hold on, I'll check it right now. Yeah, 10,000 on the first one. 10,000 views on Breeze's interview. Prospecting for the Hells Angels. It's an insane interview. We're going to be dropping part 3 tonight. Go check it out. We had 10,000 views on the first one, 22.7 thousand on the second one. Go check out the interview. People are loving that one. And if you want to see, I'm going to put one together in its entirety so that you guys can watch the whole thing through instead of it being all cut up. But you got to join the membership for that. Appreciate it, Breeze. Couldn't have told my story without you. Much appreciated. No doubt. This is what I do, man.
And she didn't get the help, but I touched her life with.
No, you touched Jack Russo's life, not that dumb deaf blonde, not that deaf woman. You touched Jack Russo's life and Nick Scabetta's. They were going to out you. You know what you were doing with them, Sammy.
That thing.
Yeah, and she never forgot it.
She never forgot it, and I've never forgot.
Now look at the parrot on Sammy's shoulder. She never forgot it. Sammy was too busy in the club with Jack Russo, giving lap rides. Ain't that right, Sammy? You came to the wrong neighborhood, sweetheart. Rocky Road.
Forgot it, really. I didn't forget it, but I didn't talk about it. I never said nothing. I didn't think anybody would believe me anyway. So I never said nothing. And here's...
I didn't think people would believe me anyway, he says. Why would that be, Sammy? Why? Why would people not believe you? Because it never happened? Yeah, that's why.
Comes back in my life that much later. It made me feel so good.
Thank you, Nate.
Yeah, that's right. That's part of the reason we do it. I don't think I mentioned to you in the previous 2 calls that my wife and I do a lot of charity stuff. We take care of an orphanage up the street that usually has between 30 and 35 kids in it.
No, stop.
We do a lot to support them. We take them all out for birthday parties, and I have my friend cater Thanksgiving for them. The full deal. He's a guy from New Jersey.
Let's praise them for doing what you're supposed to do, right?
Smokehouse, yeah. And they never saw a turkey. They never saw anything like a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, because you never gave it to them. So now Scammy Gravano is the most charitable gangster in history, right? Number one, you weren't a gangster. You couldn't be one. So you absolutely turned your back on that life. You turned into a cooperating informant, right? A complete rat, a disgrace to mankind. Then you get out of prison and you start selling drugs with your family. Real good contribution to society.
I take care of another school for
Kane.
He's been with me for 17 years.
Hey, pat yourself on the back, buddy. All right.
So I take a lot away from whoever.
Right.
Go to the West, no way.
Nothing, but I want to get mad at him at least. A family member, once you get mad at him, you lost a family member over money. Yeah, it's a bad move.
Over money? What do you kill family members over money, Sammy? What are you talking about? Nick Scabetta, your sister's brother. You murdered him for his businesses. And because he was going to out you for sleeping with Jack Russo.
That's a different story, but blown into friends and family, they will tell you anything to get that money. But then the first week or month that they don't have the money, I'm sorry, Sam.
You lose your friend and or your family member. You know, you lose that relationship over money. So that's why I agree. I don't want to lend family or, I want, if a guy don't pay me, I want to get mad at him. I may not do nothing, but I want to get mad at him at least. A family member, once you get mad at him, you lost a family member over money. Yeah, it's a bad move.
So after I gave that guy the $5,000, and I had many sleepless nights when I'm waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, plotting how I'm going to get rid of him the best way. And that's when I told my wife, this is it. I don't need the stress and anxiety at 10. And I love these people. But at first, here you go.
In 99, I got busted again. In
the first time with John.
90.
90, okay.
December of 90.
Yeah.
Well, not December.
Okay.
Yeah. Something like that, December.
Yeah, no, you started cooperating before that. So what? You started cooperating around July probably, right, Sammy? And then you got busted in December of 99. Yeah, that's about right?
I think it was, of 90. That went away.
Did you ever hear this name, Anthony Arelotta from Springfield, Mass?
Absolutely not. Anthony Areola was not a speck on the wall at that time.
I did.
Oh, now he did. Oh, man.
I did.
Did you know?
Lies. Hi, you guys like that? Blatant lie in HD right there. You hear that?
When did you go away? 91 or 92? When did you go away?
Did you hear the name Anthony Areola, Sammy? I did. Yep, I did.
it was, of 90. That went away.
Did you ever hear this name, Anthony Aralotta from Springfield, Mass?
I did. Yep, I did. It was before he was even in the life. He was meet me in the back room at Jack Russo's bar.
I did. I did.
Did you know him at all? I don't
No.
think so.
No,
I didn't think so.
but I did hear the name, I think.
Fucking liar, I think. Too bad Anthony Areola was not involved with the life when you got busted in 90, you idiot. So, right there, blatant lie.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of stories about him. I think he said the last time he's like 52 now, but he did a little bit of time because he
cooperated after like a week.
He's another one that just
Gives lap rides like Sammy.
took the paper. The feds came in and said, "This is the."
No, the feds did not come in and say anything to Anthony Areola. He had a body hidden, and he used it as leverage. He got into a domestic dispute with one of his family members, and he used it as leverage. He wasn't even going to prison for this shit. He raised his hand to the feds, and he told on everybody. And now he tries to go out and say, I offered Ty and Freddie to make a deal to get out, and they said no, because you're a liar. You're a liar, too.
The only time we're going to talk to you. Do you want to join Team America or do you want to run by yourself? And he said, just give me the paper. I can't do that time.
My area.
And then, he took a bunch of people down. And he did it in a shitty way. The way he bumped off the other guy and that was running Springfield there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's ways to do it when you say that in a shitty way. I always get that question about cooperating because I cooperated too. So every time I hear of a guy cooperating, I did time with a guy named Fat Cat Nichols, who was a black guy. And
all rats should be in the same boat. They should put them on a boat, right? And set it ablaze. And push them off into the sunset. That's what should happen to all of them.
Real tough bastard, real tough guy. And I asked him, what was his story? So he killed his probation officer and he got a life sentence. And while he was doing time, his crew was out there. One guy was banging his wife.
Why'd you change the subject of Anthony, my area, Areola? Why'd you guys change the subject? Because you didn't know him. Because you're a liar.
One guy was beat up his mother to get the spots where they were dealing these drugs or whatever they were doing. And so here's a guy who stood up, he's doing life, and you take over his spots by beating up his mother, fucking his wife. And then they came to him, they wanted to kill a cop because the cop is protecting some witness or something. And he said no. They went ahead and they killed the cop, even though he said no. And he gets pinched again because he's the boss. And he faces capital punishment, death penalty. And he says, I had enough. I fucking quit. And he flipped. Now, they call him a rat. Now, I look at that story, I said, a rat. The guy did a life sentence and stood up. He's doing his time. He didn't rat.
Listen, they're trying to justify bullshit. That's the bottom line. They're all trying to justify why they are despicable human beings. There is no justification. You are a complete disgrace to mankind. You should run and crawl back into your hole. All of you rats, all of you. I don't give a shit. Now you want to come on YouTube and be gangsters when you couldn't be gangsters in real life. So now you want to come on here and act like you were this and that. I mean, there's so many of them. It's not even funny. But now you got people like Joey Merlino coming out. And so now there's people that are finally pushing back against these people. Shout out to We Push Back. And there has to be an opposing faction to these dirtbags. Can't let them just get away saying whatever they want. They're absolute liars. And they belong where they were when they cooperated.
Beat up his mother and took his spots. He couldn't do too much. He was in prison, but he didn't rap. You're fucking his wife. One guy's fucking his wife. I mean, what kind of respect are you showing this guy? He's the boss of this crew. And he still don't rap. Now you do something where he told you not to do it, and he gets pinched and faces a capital case.
So let me justify. These guys just justify their bullshit.
And he just says, I had enough. Now, in jail, I was friendly with him. Real tough guy.
I'm sure you were friendly with him, Sammy. Were you the bottom bull or the top bull?
And he wasn't fat, that's for sure. They call him Fat Cat. I don't know when he was fat, but in prison he was fucking ripped nice and stood up.
He looked nice, Sammy?
He actually got pinched in prison with this guy, White Boy Rick. They were doing something with White Boy Rick's father on the street. It caught up and they got pinched. He still didn't rip. So when you did all these things to him, you want to call him a rat? Look what the fuck you did to him to bring him to that point.
All right, so what justification does Anthony Areola have to cooperate? What was his justification? The bottom line is you guys couldn't do your time. You couldn't do your time. You wanted to push it off on someone else. That's exactly the reason why you cooperated. But none of you people can admit the truth. And it's really disgusting. No credibility. These people are insane.
So when I look at when you call somebody a guy who flipped, I always like to hear, what's his story? The guy got pinched, some guy get pinched, he's going to get a slap on the wrist. I call that a 5, 8, 10 year bid. And he flips. Boom. I mean, you can't even do 7, 8 years?
Anthony Areola did that. What about Kevin? 2 weeks. 2 weeks he cooperated. Took him 2 weeks. Areola cooperated right away. All these guys, they're not built like that. They're scared. They're looking for a way out. Now they want to go on the internet and talk about how gangster they are. Especially, what's his name? A-Light and Chief Suckums. Barillo Lips. They want to talk about how tough they are. Absolutely despicable human beings.
And nobody did nothing to you. Now you're going to bite all kinds of people. Now, if you got a story, I always want to hear the story. It don't make sense when some guys, who I know is a tough guy, good guy, strong guy, and he flips. I always want to say, I don't call him a rat right away. I want to say, because I'm against it, even though I did it, I'm against it. But I always want to say,
hell yeah, able to protect his back area.
What happened? Why? This guy he don't fit the mold of being a rat. Why? There's got to be a story somewhere that made this guy do that. Same with me. I'm pinched on and off all my life. But when John betrayed me, I said, fuck the life, fuck him, I quit. So to me, there's a story. You couldn't make me rat.
When he betrayed you, right? He betrayed you, so you couldn't be a gangster anymore, huh? That's how it worked.
No matter what. I faced cases and I went to jail all my life. But when that happened, I said, fuck him, fuck the life. I'm out of here. I'll join Team America. I'll join whatever. I'm going. I'm gone. So it wasn't the time element. It was how you are. How do you feel in this organization or through something that you took an oath with them, and now they're turning on you. So I mean, so I always want to hear the whole story before I make a statement about the guy and stuff like that. Some guys are
Go ahead, finish.
No, I'm saying
Go ahead, finish.
Born with it. There's guys who badmouth me. I know their story. I say, you were facing 12 years. One of them. I'm not gonna say his name. And he could have took a plea for 10. He would have did about seven and change. And he flipped. And he's calling everybody a rat. And you flipped on 80 fucking guys. I mean,
He's talking about Michael Scars.
Of all people, So you weren't even facing a life sentence or 20 or 30 year sentence. You were facing nothing. And you were young. So I don't know, this whole thing, it's a weird thing, but like I said, in time.
No, the bottom line is you are a rat loser and accept it. Embrace it, Scammy. Your other rat friends are embracing it. Areola, Chief Suckums, A-Liar, Mikey Scabs. They all embrace their new rat freedoms.
The whole thing fell apart. And John Jr., John Gotti's son, John Jr.
Same.
He ratted his fucking brains out.
Yeah.
And they hide it, but I got the 302s. I got everything. I don't do anything about it. I don't say nothing.
He's Team America just like you are.
But, and he's calling everybody a rat.
Last year, I started living this thing where I say I took the rearview mirror off my life.
Okay, yeah, so you can't look in the rearview mirror, huh? Good analogy. You should cut your internet so you can't deal with losers like Scammy Gravano anymore. But anyway, I got some great content on the way. I went to the Mafia graveyard, seen Gotti's grave, Roy DeMeo, Lucky Luciano, Vito Genovese, Carmine Lombardozzi. I got a lot of great content for you guys. I got one video. I went to Neil Della Croce's grave. I seen Masseria's grave. All of the bigwigs. A lot of great content. Climbed up like 10 flights of stairs, so don't mind the breathe a little heavy. I already tried, Nate. Come on, Nate. I'm on top of things. I already reached out to him. You want to see Sammy spoof young guys as was cooperating. 100% he was cooperating. Yeah, right. I want to see proof too. No, he was saying Gotti Jr. was cooperating. Albert Cade himself a few years ago. No, he's alive. Junior. His son's still alive. He wrote a book. But I got a lot of content on the way. And I got another show that I'm going to be dropping here. I'll play the intro for you guys. Check this out. This is a really good show. Check it. wait, that's not the one. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Check this out. This is a new intro for a new show I'm going to be doing in the next couple days. It's really good. We're going to talk about all kinds of biker related content, different situations that happen around the country, and it's going to be pretty good. Check this out.
17 members and associates of the Hells Angels are facing criminal charges in a violent attack.
Federal agents allege the outlaws sold drugs, traded firearms, and engaged in insurance fraud and even tampered with government witnesses.
We have learned there is cell phone video as well as surveillance video of evidence in this attack.
The U.S. attorney characterized today's raids as historic, the largest federal bust on organized criminal gang activity.
Retaliation is common for crimes involving biker gangs. However, it could happen anywhere because of how interconnected gangs have become nationwide.
The 3-year investigation resulted in 42 federal indictments on a variety of charges, including racketeering, money laundering, drugs, gambling, insurance fraud, and extortion.
There's a bunch of bikers up here, and they're shooting guns and stuff. I need the police now.
But on foot going towards 2nd Street. Okay, we see you.
Stay tuned. Biker Wars on the way. If you guys like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too bad. Start your own podcast. And remember, don't be a Scammy Gravano.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.